Hey guys, what's up? JediDwag here. So patch is out. This is 1.0.0.122, and I'm just gonna give you a quick flyby version of the patch notes. I'll try not to make this go too long. I'm not gonna hit every single thing in it. I'm just gonna hit what mattered to me, I guess you could say. So here we go. So basically, so first I'm just going to go off from the top of the list. So Annie got some slight nerfs. Basically they hit the base damage on Incinerate and Disintegrate, and they also hit the AP ratios. I think this was kind of needed, because ever since her, it's not a rework, but ever since they buffed her significantly to bring her in line with other champions, she's just been a little bit on the OP side. And also they fixed the double cast bug. Apparently there was some other champions that had were able to exploit that, but they say they fixed it. So you never know. We'll see, but they say they fixed it. Corki, they hit his where is it? So Corki's phosphorus bomb. They removed the blind from it, and I think that's interesting because, as some of you may remember, it used to be able to reveal stealth as well, which made it really annoying because he would just find wards and kill your wards, and he would, if you were Teemo, oh god, he'd just kill all your mushrooms, just piss you off. So that it no longer blinds, so it's slowly just it's just an AoE damage spell now. They also reduced the damage on it slightly. They also reduced his Gatling gun from 25% of his AD to 20, or his bonus AD or whatever it is. They also nerfed his the big one missile. So basically what it sounds like for Corki is they just hit his AoE stuff. So he was just doing too much AoE in team fights, I guess, and they just hit all of his AoE just a little bit. And so that should bring all of his AoE damage that he's been dealing down a little bit, and hopefully he'll be a little more in line with other carries. Ezreal, basically a small thing. I play a lot of easy, so I'm mentioning this, but his Mystic Shot, it wasn't interacting with spell shields. I wasn't sure whether that was a feature or I'm not sure if that was intended, but apparently it was not, so they fixed it. So Mystic Shot will hit spell shields now and remove them, or it'll not go through them. I don't know whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing. For Galio, so they say they were giving Galio some buffs. Basically, they raised his base HP, which is really good. I mean, because that'll help your HP for the whole game. Also helps for early game stuff. They also gave him more armor up front and a little less armor per level. So it sounds like, I didn't run the numbers, but it looks like you'll get about the same amount of armor at level 18. You just get more of it up front. So you scale to the same place, but you have a little more up front. And then what else did they do on him? Oh, his Resolute Smite, they increased the missile speed a little bit, they reduced the mana cost, and they also reduced the AP ratio. So just a little bit of a change there. It's cheaper, it goes faster, but it doesn't do as much damage. But it still is a good CC, it has that slow attached to it. Bulwark, they increased the duration, bumped up the heal a little bit. And then and on his ultimate, they said they were going to increase the damage reduction that he had on his ultimate. So it's now 50% up from 30. So that's like 2/3 of an Alistar ult if you want to think about that. So it's pretty good. Taking significantly less damage. 20% if you want to get technical. Gangplank, they reduced his parlay gold. So now he only gets it's like you only get one bonus gold each time you put a point in the skill. So let me find it here on my notes. Gangplank. There it is. So now it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as opposed to 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I mean, it used to be all the way up to 16. So that's they've been nerfing that skill ever since they started kind of changing what Gangplank was. So the Gangplank's like me that like to just sit in the lane and farm. I played Gangplank way back in the day. I haven't played him since the rework, but way back when I used to play him, I like to just park myself in the lane and just farm the whole game, and so they're nerfing that a little bit. You can't just park and farm with Q. You still get gold, but not as much. They also reduced the bonus AD and the move speed on Raise Morale. Again, that's probably just one of those things since the rework. They've probably been messing around with it, and they decided it's just a little bit too powerful, so that got hit a little bit again. Jax, he got his Leap Strike AD ratio back that everyone was really upset about it, because they fixed Jax. They didn't fix him, but they buffed Jax, and he kind of had his little flavor of the month moment in the spotlight, and everyone was playing him, and then they nerfed him, and then everyone just stopped playing him, and I haven't seen a Jax since. People just don't play him ever since he got that nerf, because his burst was really, really good early game, but now they hit that. With the ratio reduction and just whatever else. But they put the ratio back, so it's back up from 0.7 to 1.0, but they did hit the base damage pretty hard. So it's, as opposed to 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, it's 30, 60, 85, 110, 135. So at top level, it's only 15 damage, but at rank 1, it's also 15 damage, which, early levels is quite a bit of damage. But hopefully people, bring Jax back and play him again. I like to see all champs getting a little love, Kale rework. I'm not really going to talk about the Kale rework. I don't play Kale. I haven't really played that much Kale. She got new model, new animations. Basically it looks like they just took her spells and they, I wouldn't say they repurposed them, but they kind of tweaked them a little bit, like her Q. Where is that? Basically, it sounds like they changed their passive. I don't even know what her old passive was, so I shouldn't really talk about that. But they increased the slow on her Q. They increased the radius that you can cast it in. No, sorry, they increased the missile speed, not the radius. And they reduced the damage amplification, so it's more of a target slow. And I think it does more. They increased the AP ratio on it, and they reduce the mana cost. So it's like a target nuke with a good slow, and the damage amplification has been toned down a little bit. So and then her Righteous Fury, they increased the AoE, and her heal, I think, what did they do to that? They reduced the duration of the speed buff, but they made it a significantly greater speed buff, and they also hit the AP ratio on the heal. So it's more of a really quick speed buff and less, think almost like a zillion speed up as opposed to a heal, but it does heal. So Orianna, they hit Orianna a little bit. They reduced the AP ratio on her Dissonance, and they took 5% off the move speed at all ranks, so it's 20 at first level and 40 at top level. Orianna's pretty good. She does a lot of AoE damage, especially when she's late game farmed, so I can see that they'd want to hit that a little bit. The global ult nerfs went in. The radius is 5,500, so I don't really know what they're measuring that by, but we know it's in-game units, so whatever. But that's how big it is, So it is what it is. We'll see how that plays out in the coming weeks of playing the game and just seeing how the champions are. Hopefully it won't hurt them too much. Hopefully Pantheon and Twisted Fate can still, be effective in a broader global sense. I shouldn't use the word global, but in a broader, they're still dangerous, Swain, they made his Ravenous Flock target champions, or prioritized champions, I should say, which it probably should have done from the beginning, so it's kind of one of those things like, well, good job. But whatever. Tryndamere. Okay, I'm excited about the Trynd changes because I like playing my Trynd. So so for Tryndamere, they increased his model size a little bit. He's a little bit bigger now. And some people were saying they saw graphical bugs and stuff on the new model and with the animations and stuff. I didn't notice any, but I wasn't really paying that close of attention. Also, the new rage system doesn't seem to affect how I jungle him, which is nice. So I didn't want to jump into a random game with people, so I queued up with some friends and we played a game, and I'm like, I'm jungling Trynd, and they're like, okay, whatever, and I did it, and it still worked. I went for it just the way I normally did. Jungle Trynd can be dangerous sometimes, but I made it just fine, made it through the jungle, and so yeah, that still works. They did reduce his heal, so he doesn't heal as much off of his Q anymore, and the rage bar only gives him crit chance. So if you want to get the bonus AD like you used to from the passive on his Q, you have to be low on HP, which I didn't really like because there was some moments where I'm trying to solo dragon or something, and I'm just not doing enough damage to kill it, and it was, it can be annoying. But it is what it is. So also his spin is now, there's no cost to cast his spin, which is nice because now you can kind of spin, and I mean, like if you just ulted and you're worried about being low on HP, you can spin after ulting and not worry about spinning, bringing yourself down to almost no health, because it does cost, you know, in low health situations, the cost can be significant. You know, bring you down to super low health and then die to an ignite or a minion auto attack or something, you know. So it's nice that the spin is free, because now any of those situations where it would have been, you know, do I spin, do I not spin, just go ahead and spin. Spin to win. There's no health cost. It won't kill you. And also, the damage is now physical as opposed to AP. So you won't be diversifying your damage as much, because you used to have, or not AP, magic. You used to have that magic damage, so you know you could always deal a little magic damage and they'd have to build a little magic resist. But now it's all physical, which is good if you're building armor pen. Not so good if you are, you know, if you want to diversify your damage. Some Udyr changes. They reduced the AD ratio on Udyr's Tiger Stance a little bit, so we won't do quite as much damage. And they fixed a bug with Wriggles, where Udyr in Turtle Stance would heal from Wriggles procs and Madrid's procs, Madrid's Razor's procs, which would explain why he was so hard to knock out of lane, because he would just sit there and auto attack. And apparently he got back mana from that too, one of my friends told me. So Udyr got fixed. We won't even call that like a nerf. He just got fixed, so he hopefully won't be as ridiculously overpowered in lane anymore. Well, okay, whatever. He can be ridiculously overpowered in lane. But Yorick, they cut the armor on his ghouls, so they're a little easier to kill now. One thing that I find really weird is they changed his Omen of Pestilence to scale off AP now. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work out. It scales stronger than it does off AD, so theoretically you could get the damage really high, and that's the AoE one. But it doesn't, like, you know, unify his build now. So, you know, it's like, well, do you build AP Yorick? Do you build hybrid? Do you go AD? So it's, I guess he's got options. We'll see how that plays out. I'm not going to, you know, comment on it because I don't play him and I don't really know. But I just thought that was really interesting that they changed his skill to scale off AP on a champion that was pretty much all AD before that. And also Omen of Famine, they reduced the healing on a little bit, and they reduced the radius, so you can't like spam cast it on someone from 1.5 miles away and annoy them. A few other things. Zhonya's, they reduced the combined cost on Zhonya's Hourglass, so hopefully, you know, it's the whole Zhonya's death cap debate. Maybe more people will start getting Zhonya's now, because I think they want people to buy both of them equally. If they have to make a decision between them, I mean, like they don't want them to have to buy both items, but if they're going to pick between a death cap or an Hourglass, you know, making the Hourglass, most people are getting the death cap, obviously, because it's ridiculously good, but they did hit the AP on it, and now they're hitting the cost on Zhonya's, or they're reducing the cost on Zhonya's, so maybe more people will start going Hourglass as opposed to death cap. Who knows? Randuin's and Shurelya's now give assists, which I think is good, because I like playing my tanks. I always forget to use it, but if I do remember to use my Randuin's, maybe I'll get a few more assists now, so that's good. Also, general, they fixed some, apparently those frame rate problems with sounds being spammed in games, so they said they fixed that. The double damage bug, like I mentioned earlier, they fixed the double damage bug, and also, apparently the creeps weren't showing their change in stats over time, so like if you left click on a creep to see what its stats are, apparently those weren't changing as they should be. So apparently they fixed that now. I didn't even know it was broken, but you know, it's the way these patches are. You find out all these little tidbits and Christmas presents. So okay, that's the patch. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll be putting up daily videos. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. See you in game.